Hey, it's Rich, the Louisiana hobby guy. And this week we're going to talk about something that comes up over and over and over again. And I guess it's because it's part of another video on making a business card coin. I used to make these business card coins. This is actually a leather patch for a hat. But I used to make these business card coins that were double-sided to hand out to people. And that video gets lots and lots of comments, and I get tons of requests from people that say they can't get it done. So today we're going to talk about relief fill and offset fill in the same video so I can get it into the title and the keywords and people can find it. So this is an offshoot from that video, and I want to talk about the problems that people have and how to overcome them. So it's really very, very simple, and this will be a quick video. So let's jump over to Lightburn, and let's take a look at how I made this. So it really is very simple. I'm going to just grab a primitive over here, the circle, oval, whatever you want to call it. Hold shift and make a circle. So there is my first one, and I've got this in filled mode over here. It's in fill. And I've also got my window up here in filled course. So typically most people are going to see it like this, where you're not going to see the fill. Even if you change from line to fill, nothing happens. But for demonstrations in this video, I always keep my window in filled course. This way you can see what the final product is going to look like. So now with this, if you want to do relief fill, in other words, taking out the background and leaving the text, the only thing that you need to do is do it on the same layer. So if I grab some text over here and I type out some text like that and select it, it is automatically going to be relieved when I put it in this circle. You see? So now that means that this white will not get engraved, and only the background now is going to engrave. However, if I select the background and I duplicate it by pressing Control and the letter D, like that, you see it goes away and there's only a line around the outside now. So if I hold Control and grab any corner and pull it in, I can now make a border around the outside. And typically when I do a border like this, I'm going to select both of those and put them onto a different layer. And the reason that I do that is because I'm going to use an offset fill over here on the outer circle. And that will make it go much more quickly because the fill will go in a circle until it's finished instead of scanning at 0 degrees across or 90 degrees up and down, whatever it might be. This will take a fraction of the time to do. But that's not what we were supposed to be talking about today. So let's come back to here. And now we've got it on the black layer. So now you see that the sum text is now going to get engraved. And you don't want that, but you still want that border going around the outside. So if I select just one of those borders, let me put this into wireframe so you can see I've only selected one. You can see the Vegas lights going around in a circle there. So now with just that one selected, what I'm going to do is the same thing. I'm going to duplicate it, Control and the letter D. And then all I have to do is hold Control again and bring this down just a bit like that, or to whatever your liking is, and you're now going to get that border that I had on this one here. And let me switch cameras real quick. So now you see I've got the engraving at the very edge is the border, then I've got the engraving, then I've got the black space again, and then if I offset it again, that's where I would put my text. So this is really just a matter of offsetting layers, and I'll show you. I'm going to offset it one more time. Let's go back to Lightburn. And I'm going to offset this one more time. I'm actually going to duplicate it, but you can also offset it over here so that you can get a visual representation of what's happening. And by lowering and raising the offset, you can see exactly what's happening here. So this is how you do this, and it's really very simple. So now I've got this part right over here, which if we go back to smooth, wireframe smooth, you can get a better idea of what's going on here. So let's say that I wanted to bring this in. I'll just select these two and move these in like that, and let's go ahead and move the text out of the way. And now we've got something that's pretty much like my coin. So if we come back to filled where you can see it, now I can take and bring my text in here, but it would engrave. So the only thing that I have to do again, one more time, is offset or duplicate this one. And now when I do that, my text will not engrave. So now I can bring my text in and bend it into shape like that. So the text does not engrave. And then this center one, if we come back to wireframe, if I just remove this one in the center that I was just using for demonstration purposes, you'll see that now my text will stand proud and it won't get engraved. And you can still move all of these things around on the inside, you see, just by selecting them. And you can do the same thing on the outside just by selecting them. And you can also do another offset on the outside, and then another offset on the outside to get exactly what I've got. So it's just a matter of offsetting, 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 and you'll see here are my layers. Maybe to get a better idea, I'm going to use just two shapes instead. So I'm going to use the circle, and I'm just going to duplicate that circle, controlling the letter D. Whenever you put the same layer over another layer, that's where you'll see the effect happen. And if I make this one smaller, as I move it to the middle, you can see that this is an area that's not going to be engraved. Only the black is going to be engraved. So if, for instance, you wanted to put some text on there, let's just do that one more time, and we'll put the word text. Right now, if you take and put this text in, didn't mean to do that. This mouse that I have here is just absolutely crazy. So if I put this text in the middle, that's going to engrave. And then if I pull this out, you'll see that it won't engrave. So there's probably a better representation of how this works. Now, if this is on another layer, that doesn't apply. So they have to be on the same layer for this to work. And I hope this is probably the best example right here, where you've got two circles on the same layer, and as you move it over, it will either engrave or it won't, one or the other. And then selecting that circle and offsetting it will do the same thing, and offsetting it again will give you my an example of how I do my business coins. And you can offset forever on this, and it will just keep giving you different rings and lines, and it's just that simple. So these are all just different layers of the same color. And if we just pull them off, you can see how many layers are here. And you can actually make some really nice designs using this as well. Okay, and the second thing that I wanted to talk about today is removing overlapping lines when you're cutting. You can save lots and lots and lots of time by removing overlapping lines and get much cleaner cuts. But before we do that, let me point out my hat. I don't know if you've noticed it with my name on the side. So my son has gotten into the laser engraved business with me. And I'll take a couple seconds here to give him a plug. You can get your own custom hat over at laserengravedhats.com. So go visit over there. And he did install a coupon code, Hobby Guy, so for a mystery discount. That's anywhere in the United States. Laserengravedhats.com if you want to get your own custom hat like this with your name on the side. I think he's got like 10 different graphics to choose from, or you can just upload your own graphic when you're ordering. And so help him out, get him started in the business. But let's get back to Lightburn, and let's talk about that remove overlapping lines, because this one is kind of important. So when you're doing a cut, and let's say you've got a few of these, so we'll just do Control Duplicate and move this off to the side. Now, I'm just going to demonstrate this just with these two here so you get a clear and concise definition of what I'm doing here. So let's say that I put these onto the red. With me, the red path means cut. I like black is engrave, blue is engrave, a different shade, red is cut, and all the other layers are different shades of gray when I'm using the diode or the CO2. So the first thing I want to do is position these two together. So if I come up here to Arrange and Distribute and move these two horizontally together, now they're perfectly aligned. These two are perfectly aligned. And when I go to cut this, what's going to happen is it's going to cut like this and come down, finish the cut, and then it's going to come over here and do the same thing. And it's going to go right over this line again, which is already cut, if I don't have my settings right. So on the laser tab, right here on the right, if you come over here to Optimization Settings and click on that, you're going to see over here at the bottom, Remove Overlapping Lines. And this is going to be off by default. So you have to come here and turn this on, and then your distance, I don't know why this is at 0.75, because I usually keep this at 0.2. So we'll put that back to 0.02 millimeters, and that way we don't have to worry about it making those cuts. So now, and actually let me show you this so that you get a better understanding. I'm going to turn that off. We're going to preview this job. Let me turn off Cut Selected Graphics. We're going to preview this job now. So we're going to come way back over here to right about here. And I'm going to hit play. And, well, no, yeah, we can't go at 40 speed. Let's try that one more time. I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to hit play. And you're going to see the laser coming up now vertically. And now it's going to go finish that cut. And now it's going to come around this way, and watch what happens. As it comes around to the top, it's going to come right back down over this cut and keep cutting all the way down like that. And that's not what we want. So if we come back to the optimization settings and turn this on and preview it one more time, let's see what happens now. So now we've got our first cut is done. And it's going to move down. It's going to skip this entire middle now and just do the outside. And right there is the end of the job. That is something that I think everybody should know about, because there are going to be times where you've got lots of things that you're cutting out of the same piece of wood. And if you just dock them together so that they're perfectly docked, like I showed you earlier, then and you can dock in both directions. You can dock horizontally and you can dock vertically. But as long as you dock them together and you have that setting turned on, you're going to save lots of cut time when you're cutting out your pieces. I wanted to keep this video today focused on two particular topics that I can put in the description for keywords when people are searching the channel. I'm trying to get the channel more organized. So I hope you enjoyed these two fast tips today, and I hope you'll take a few moments and go over to laserengraved.hats.com. He's got like 10 styles to choose from over there, and a bunch of different style patches. Or best part is that you can upload your own vector graphic and get a hat made with your name on the side. So I appreciate it if you give it a visit. laserengraved.hats.com. So I hope you enjoyed today's video as much as I enjoyed making it for you. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
In my hand, all fish on the fire. Rich Louisiana hobby guy, never tie, got my laser engraver. Been making everything right, carving my name day and night, wooden signs and plaques, personalized.